Welcome to Ball Talk Deep, where we talk deep about ball. It's Andrade and Irwin back at it again. And ladies and gentlemen, this is something we got to do because this NBA season is right around the corner. Starts, I think if I remember correctly, October 19th, right?
Wrong. No, I'm just kidding. No. I don't know.
And I ran across this tweet from Billy Reinhardt. My bad if I'm chopping up that last name. He's an NBA reporter, focuses on the Brooklyn Nets, or he's a Nets fan, one of those. And this tweet caught my interest because I think it's something that we're all, as fans or wannabe analysts, have in mind going into every NBA season. Which, side note, shout out to the NFL and the NFL first game starts of the season, because that was one of the best NFL starts I've seen. And I don't watch the NFL like that.
The true GOAT showed why he's the GOAT.
Yes. And the NFL honestly couldn't ask for a better start. And hopefully the NBA gets something on that level to the start of this NBA season.
That's the best thing about the NBA, man. You're going to see a lot of surprises.
That's facts. And speaking of surprises, let's see if one of these players can surprise us. So Billy tweeted, who are 5 players in the league with the most to prove or most to gain reputation-wise this season? I'll give you 6. I love how he said 5 and then he gives us 6.
Overachiever, man, going above and beyond.
For real.
Somebody's getting promoted.
He said D'Angelo Russell, Karl Towns. I don't know why it's weird to say Karl Towns. Karl Anthony Towns.
There we go.
Zach LaVine, Kristaps Porzingis, Ben Simmons, and De'Aaron Fox.
Your other boy.
And obviously, we are going to give our individual 5. And before we give our 5, I just want to include this one because whoever this tweeter is, Sports Waves, I like how he broke it down, or she. And they said Klay Thompson, prove he can still play at a high level after 2-year absence.
Love that.
De'Aaron Fox, can he break playoff drought in sack or make all-star team? Mm-hmm. Ben Simmons, can he bounce back? Zion Williamson, star player, but can he win in New Orleans? And Cade Cunningham, obviously because he's the number 1 pick. And then we got our 5, and we're gonna do exactly what Sports Waves did, and break down why we picked these 5s. You want to break it down from 1 through... Actually, I don't really have a specific order. I'm just going from like shortest name to longest name. You ready?
Yeah. If you want, just go with your 5.
One of them. All right. My 5 are Tyler Herro, Ben Simmons, Zion Williamson, Dennis Schroder, Kristaps Porzingis.
Me, I got Anthony Davis, CJ McCollum, Ben Simmons, Victor Oladipo, and Kyle Kuzma. I got some reasons.
The one that I really like most out of your picks off the top is definitely Victor Oladipo. I'm like, okay, I could have put Victor on my list.
Yeah. All right, but why'd you pick your 5?
All right. All right, let's just break it down. Like we'll each go 1. We'll bounce back and forth.
Okay.
All right. Starting off with Tyler Herro, it's because, let's be honest, the guy became a mainstream star after the finals, after the Harlow song, etc., etc. We've done videos on it. Now he's a father. He had a sophomore slump in a lot of people's eyes, even though in efficiency he kind of improved. And he didn't really get worse from his freshman or his rookie season. So this 3rd season is really going to be on him. Eyes are going to be on him, especially Heat fans. But I want to say way more than just Heat fans of like, okay, does Tyler really got it? Or was his rookie season a fluke? Was his playoff run a fluke? And yeah, I think he's going to come out swinging. I preached that in the other video. What were you going to say?
I'll tell you this, man. Looking on Heat Twitter,
you talking about that
Twitter,
bulking photo he had?
He looks swole.
Didn't I tell you he was going to put on weight? I told you, like, dude. I'm like, bro, he's going to put on weight.
That's a great sign. I'm happy to see that, but my stance still stays the same, man. Bradley Beal, Zach LaVine becomes available in a trade. Sorry, Tyler, you're going.
Okay, so that's part of it why I also thought of him, because, like, there are people that are still vouching for, like, okay, if the Heat can pull off another trade, Tyler Herro gets included. And if not, there's still that talk of like, damn, we didn't include Tyler. For people will always bring up the James Harden trade, even though that wasn't going to happen no matter what.
Yeah, we don't have to
But yeah, so there's still that cloud waving over him. So all this pressure from his actual Heat fans to like mainstream fans and casual fans is going to be on him. And I think that if he pulls it off, he has a lot to gain by the end of this season, going into the playoffs, and even after the playoffs. All right, who's one of yours?
I'm gonna go Anthony Davis.
That one kind of surprised me.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of surprising. I mean, nobody's denying that Anthony Davis is a superstar, but as he received,
he's a star. I wouldn't say superstar.
Okay, fine, borderline superstar, definitely a star. But as you were seeing, especially on Twitter, social media, after the Lakers got eliminated, Anthony Davis was getting a lot of shit. Like, you know, a lot of jokes saying instead of the brow, he's street clothes, all these nicknames about his injuries. He's got something to prove in the sense that can he prove that he can stay healthy for the most part for a full season?
I think
for
we all know the answer to that.
I hope so, man. I mean, shit, man. I would like to see that. And my point that I'm trying to say is give Lakers fans some hope that when LeBron James leaves and retires, Anthony Davis, you know, they're not going to be as fucked.
I feel like that was the plan. I think the more time that goes by, they realize that's not going to be the plan.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I put him on the list.
Okay, that's a good point. All right. Second, I'm going to say Ben Simmons. By the way, remember, guys, it's not by rank. It's just by names.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons because, I mean, I think that was self-explanatory. Even Billy put it. I think it's like no, it's not. But it's one of the few ones that I agree with him on. Come on. The trade talks, the very negative rumors of how this whole Sixers trade and just wanting to leave negativity and negative publicity is around him. That cloud is gonna follow him wherever he goes now, and wherever he goes, whether he stays on the Sixers throughout before the season start, or whether he leaves mid-season or before, like new team, old team, it'll stay, and he's gonna have to kind of get people to back on his side. Because one, I think a lot of fans are already annoyed that this guy doesn't improve. Yes, he's good, but okay, you've been good. Can you be great? And do you even have that mindset to push to be great? And now the way he's handling this does not help. So at the end of this season, seeing how things work out, he could completely turn this into a 180 and shine and make people like him again, or he kind of just digs himself a deeper hole. And yeah, there's a part of me believes, man, this guy might have fucked up the remainder of his career with this whole skerfuffle that he's in with the Sixers. And by fucked up his career, I mean just not ever breaking through that next level and getting the biggest contracts that he could. I actually think, yeah, he'll get good contracts, but I don't think he's gonna get that bring truck type of contract.
I mean, he already got the Brinks truck already once with this extension that he got recently, so he's fine when it comes to that.
Yeah, good shit, he secured that.
Yeah, for real. I mean, smart man. I mean, Ben Simmons is on my list as well, but you pretty much hit the majority of the points that I'm going to say. So with that being said, I'm going to go to the third player on my list. I'm actually going to go with CJ McCollum. The reason why...
Yeah, when you put CJ, I'm like, what?
Here's the reason why. Because he was on his way to prove the point that I was hoping he was going to make for this season is all the talk that's going on is Dame...
Oh, yeah, because you had him as an all-star. I remember that.
Yes, he was on his way. Yeah. Before he got injured. All this talk is saying that, hey, all that the Trailblazers did was hire Chauncey Billups and sign Norman Powell. Wow, re-sign. Saying that Dame does not have enough help. And I think it's something good for CJ McCollum to be able to prove is, man, why are y'all all talking this shit, saying that Dame doesn't help, man? I'm here. I could be a legit number two to be able to be able to do it more on a consistent basis. To be like, yo, the Blazers are just not a good team in the West. We're a contender, a legit contender in the West.
What hurts me is that if that exact Blazers team was on the East, I'm almost sure that they would have made a finals appearance at least at some point in the past 4 to 5 years. But yeah, I just don't think CJ and Dame work together as well to actually win a championship. I think they're a good duo, don't get me wrong, but time and time again has already. But I could be wrong. We thought kind of the same thing with Chris Middleton and Giannis, and it had been years.
CJ McCollum is in that similar shoe, man.
Yeah,
just like Chris
maybe
Middleton
they're missing
is.
that Drew Holiday piece.
All they need is 1 year, man, to change things, man. The Bucks, they went from a obviously they had some luck.
You're forgetting that Dame is leaving, bro. I'm telling you, he's leaving.
I don't think so. I'm gonna put a card over here. But yeah, CJ McCollum, he could definitely improve his reputation by doing the same thing that he did last season before he got injured, become an all-star. It still blows my mind he has not made an all-star team. But who's your next player?
Okay. I don't know if you had him on your list too, but Zion.
Oh,
Zion. I don't even got to say his last name. You already know who the man is.
Yeah, man.
Man, he has a lot to gain because I think a lot of fans, because I know there's some fans that aren't on this boat anymore, but there's still a lot of fans, and I'm gonna include both of us. Actually, I think it's safe to say both of us are on this wagon.
Yeah.
That do you actually got it? Yes, he's been putting up great numbers during the regular season, and he'll have these spurts. Because last year it wasn't like just the whole season he was killing it. It was more so like towards the latter half, the second half. And let's see if he can start off strong and not just put up consistently good to great numbers, but lead a team or help lead a team. You know what I mean?
At least get your team to 500,
yeah,
bro.
at this point, okay, we can see that individually you're a special talent
Yeah.
with great potential. Now, are you going to reach that potential? That's what I want to see more of this year. Like, okay, I'm not saying he's going to reach that potential this season, but this season will give me the answer of like, okay, are you on the right path to reaching it? You know what I mean? And also, similar to Ben Simmons, he's also had a little negative PR with, I forgot, I think it was his uncle or whatever, his family. They supposedly rumors that they're uncomfortable in New Orleans. They don't want him there. It's not the best market for him. I do not disagree with any of that, by the way. But, bro, if you're in there, you want to keep that shit talking to a minimal, or you want to keep it inside your camp. You know, you don't, unless they're trying to get New Orleans to kind of ponte las pilas, which that part I understand. But now, the way that New Orleans is moving about, it's not looking too good for that team as a whole, and which doesn't help Zion's future. So he has a lot to gain if he shows out, and then he can kind of use this season to convince other players that are watching, like, okay, maybe I'll consider going to New Orleans next year or the year after, like within the next 2 years, because they got a nice core going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they got something going on.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get you, man. Okay, with my fourth player, actually, that I'm going to go with, this is not so obvious, not talked about so much. I'm going to go with Victor Oladipo. Before, a lot of y'all don't know, man. Victor Oladipo, man, this guy was a multiple-time All-Star. He made all-defensive team.
Yeah, two-way player. A true two-way player.
A true two-way player, a dog. But, you know, he had an ugly ending towards his tenure through the Pacers. There was a lot of talk saying that he wants to leave in exchanges with players at the end of the game. There was a lot of rumors and talk saying, like, yo, I want to play on your team, blah, 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 blah. Then it was like a lot of back and forth. Yeah, I want to leave. No, I want to stay. No, I want to leave. He gets injured. Then he gets shipped to Houston. Gets injured again. Traded to Miami. Injured again. This is very key to be able to, for Victor, to be able to prove that, you know, he's back to being, you know, in his all-star form, being able to help out the Heat become true contenders in the Eastern Conference and secure that bag.
No, facts. And I think that contract talk is big because every player on a 1-year contract or the last year of a contract, they know that's it's all in right now and it's make or break. And Victor's definitely on that. And it's tied in his contract and his reputation, because at this point, I think most people are off the wagon of like, can he come back? Or at least come back to like his old self, or like close to his old self.
It's make it and break it for Victor Oladipo, in my opinion. Similar to DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins was a perennial All-Star.
Yeah, and that shit, bro.
He had all those injuries. And what's DeMarcus Cousins right now? He's a free agent. And he's only getting minimum deals if anything.
Yeah.
If Victor, if he doesn't prove it, he's probably going to be that.
Yeah. Facts. Because, yeah.
Who's your last player?
Speaking of contracts, this is my fourth player. It's Dennis Schroder.
Oh.
And I think that one's also very self-explanatory if you're aware of the situation. The guy had rejected a big contract from the Lakers.
He got
what was it, like 80 something mil, 84
or something like that.
And then he accepted, after he rejected that, he wasn't getting no lucrative offers from other teams.
Because teams were capped out.
And he had to settle for
a mid-level exception.
Which I think is $5.9 million.
Something like that.
With the Celtics. And it's a 1-year deal. So he is really, banking on himself. Well, him and his wife, because his wife has spoken about it too. On like, okay, you show out this season and you get that big contract next summer. And that's why I had to include him on the list. Because one, besides reputation, it's on him. And this is a make or break year, just like Victor Oladipo. And then two,
that was Woj with the tweet bomb.
And two, now his reputation is on the line, because after that happened with the contract, suddenly Dennis Schroder was one of the most talked about NBA players for a minute. You know what I mean? Because everybody was like, "Damn, that contract, he just lost a shit ton of money." And every time money's involved, everybody wants to talk about that player for a minute. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And yeah, so he has a lot to gain or a lot to lose, because at the end of the day, if he doesn't perform well, or not well, really well for the Celtics,
or gets injured,
oh fuck,
Isaiah Thomas number 2.
Yeah, it's not gonna look good. Kind of similar, a la Victor.
Yeah. All right, for me, last but certainly not least, this might be the guy that's getting dogged on the most, especially on memes, is Kyle Kuzma. That is my last player, my 5th player that I have over here. If it's not obvious, man, when he was in Los Angeles, he had a nice little rookie year, going on. But ever since, LeBron, AD, and those guys, man, Kyle Kuzma was like a walking meme, man. Every time he'll mess up, he'll miss a shot. You'll hear on Twitter, man, yo, LeBron's gonna trade your ass. It was like that meme, or like LeBron, looking at you. Be like, Kuzma, I'm about to trade your ass to Shanghai Sharks. He's gonna go to the G League, type shit like that. But Kyle, now he has an opportunity with his new team, with the Wizards, to be able to, do something about it, show, that promise that he had, in his earlier year, and show he could be a legitimate starter. Who knows? Maybe star. I mean, that's pushing it, but legitimate starter here in the NBA.
Okay. I agree with everything you're saying. I didn't include Kyle Kuzma because I honestly think nobody's going to give a fuck about that guy after his Lakers tenure. And I forgot who said this, but I do kind of agree, like 50-50 agree, or actually more than that, 50-50, that the reason we know Kyle Kuzma so much is because he was on the Lakers franchise. And if he didn't play for the Lakers, I don't think we would have been aware of Kyle Kuzma as much. Like, if, say, he was playing for, the Pistons or the Cavs or the Grizzlies, you know what I mean? Putting up the same numbers he did for the Lakers. Yeah. But he was popular because he's playing with LeBron. He's playing on the Lakers. They had their championship run. And he had, quote-unquote potential. Now I think everybody's kind of like, okay, most people are going to forget about the guy.
Yeah, I mean, but there's been similar examples as well. Julius Randle, he was a number 7 pick for the Lakers. I mean, he did all right.
It took him a while, yeah, and then he got back in the limelight with his Knicks run.
With the Knicks, he's the king of New York right now.
Yeah.
The way I see it, that's an example. So it could happen for Kyle Kuzma. Yeah, I mean,
okay, lastly, my 5th person is Kristaps Porzingis, who is another person Billy included I agreed with. And the reason I got Kristaps, we kind of been saying similar reasons for almost all these guys.
Pandemic D. He's a new pandemic
Yes, he really is. And again, negative rumors are hovering over him with supposedly he might be a little jealous of Luka, and he doesn't get along with Luka, and
he doesn't like the schemes.
Yeah, he doesn't like the plays and all this, and it's like, okay, is it true? Is it not? Honestly, we don't know, guys. Don't fucking put in the comments oh, unless you're in that camp, don't fucking talk shit. We don't know. And sometimes we can kind of tell, but that's the thing. From what I've seen, I don't really fully see it. You know what I mean? From an out, haven't seen even facial expressions that really show that, or the way he moves. No. So he has to, 1, shed that, 2, prove people that he's back, which we've seen windows of when Kristaps can play the unicorn that we know he had the potential to be.
You just gotta be healthy, man.
And yeah, and I guess similar to AD, it's okay, if he can stay consistently healthy this season and he shows out, which I don't know if it was a video or a photo. Apparently he's been putting that work in this off season.
Not looking as jacked as Tyler here.
It would he would Yeah, he might pop off, and if Kristaps can play just 80% of what he was able to do in his Knicks days, that's a dangerous duel between him and Luka, which I was very high on when Kristaps first came to the Mavs. I was like, oh shit, we even did a video on that a while ago.
Yeah, you thought they were gonna be the best international duo.
They had the potential, yes, to be, and clearly they're not.
That fell in your face.
And hopefully, hey, there's still time.
Hey,
there's still time. That's why he's on this list. By the end, he can change his reputation by the end of the season.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what I mean. Andrade is right 95% of the time. Kristaps Porzingis is the rare 5% that he's wrong.
Hey, maybe he'll slide into that 95%. We'll see.
Yeah, sure, maybe.
But and I would like to see him because I when I first learned about Kristaps and watching interviews, I like the mindset he has. But now sometimes I wonder, was that just for the interview or is that true? We'll find out during the season, because if it's true, then he should have been put in the work the off season. Also, knowing Mark Cuban, like, not that I know him personally, but like I've seen a lot about him, watched a good amount of interviews, and obviously Shark Tank too. Mark Cuban is a type of guy that if these two weren't really working out, this motherfucker would have fucking ended this experiment not too long ago, probably by this offseason.
I mean,
and the fact that he's still giving it a shot and still, I'm assuming, believes that there's some window for them to still work out, gives me some confidence. Like, okay,
he might be feeling that way, but Andrade, with the money that the Porzingis make, is going to be very tough to get anything close to equal.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that, but Mark, I don't want to say he doesn't care about the money, but he cares about winning a lot. And he does not want to waste Luka's years, which, like, he's talked about. So, Luka's, 23 now?
Yeah, I think so.
So, Luka right now is, like, he's still 2 to 3 years away from his prime, but he's not a little kid no more. So, now he is developing fully into, like, that man's body, that man's mindset, full-grown adult. Man. And this is when you can actually start, okay, man, if you want, you can be a young winner. Like, man. Yeah, I mean, Dwayne Wade was how old when he won the MVP? 24, I think, right?
23, 24. Very young.
So, I could definitely see Luka being in that category if things work out for the Mavs and him.
All right, cool, but guys,
and that relies on Kristaps.
Yes, sir. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Who is your 5 or 6 that you are picking with the most approved reputation-wise this season?
And drop the why.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be a long-ass why, but just like how we showed that other tweet. Very quick why.
He beat me to it, man. Said the why. Either way, appreciate all the love and the hate. You guys already know. Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all podcast streaming platforms. Before we sign off, 85% of y'all that are watching this are not subscribed. Let's do something about it. Got faith in y'all.
If you made it this far, you might as well hit that subscribe button.
For real,
Let's
man.
be honest.
You got nothing.
It's a long ass video. We haven't done one of these in a while.
Yeah, for real. Feels good. Anyways, we'll catch you guys soon. For now.
Take care.